China's military minds fret over us missiles and Starlink. Two-thirds of women say childcare duties affected career progression. Researchers optimistic about new treatment for endometriosis. A lip-reading app to help patients who struggle to speak. Young woman in Burkina Faso becomes famous for her healing powers. UK to start cleaning defunct satellites and space debris. India celebrates Holi 2023. Ime unhappy at planned Amsterdam Erotic Center.
Hello, I'm Wade Lee. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. It is Thursday, March 9th, and here are your top stories. A Reuters review of almost 100 articles in more than 20 defense journals reveals an effort across China's military-industrial complex to scrutinize the impact of U.S. weapons and technology that could be deployed against Chinese forces in a war over Taiwan. And Chinese military researchers found that China needs the capability to shoot down low Earth orbit Starlink satellites and defend tanks and helicopters against shoulder-fire Javelin missiles in the conflict in Taiwan.
Elon Musk is hoping to send 42,000 of these satellites to space.
Readers reported a September article co-written by researchers at the Army Engineering University of the Play said the excellent performance of Starlink satellites in this Russian-Ukrainian conflict will certainly prompt the U.S. and Western countries to use Starlink extensively. In possible hostilities in Asia, the authors deemed it urgent for China to find ways to shoot down or disable Starlink while it aims to develop its own similar satellite network.
In a landmark survey of more than 4,000 women, the British Chamber of Commerce found as many as 67% felt childcare duty in the past decade has cost them progress at work, including pay raises, promotions, or career developments. The survey also found that 3/4 of women said there are not sufficient support for those going through menopause, while almost 90% believe that additional support was needed. Business leaders have warned the government to boost support for parents.
So why is this happening?
If you ratchet up the standards at work and you ratchet up the standards of motherhood, you're going to get to be overwhelmed.
In the study, released to coincide with International Women's Day, the British Chambers of Commerce (BCC), which represents thousands of companies across the UK, said tackling barriers to work posed by soaring childcare costs and a lack of support for elderly or disabled relatives was vital for equality and the economy. The BCC's Director General, Siobhan Haviland, said urgent action was required from the government and employers to break down barriers and ensure women had the same opportunities as men.
Women will be given a potential new treatment for endometriosis in a groundbreaking clinical trial that doctors hope will pave the way for the first new class of drugs for the condition in 40 years. The trial will involve 100 women in Edinburgh and London and will assess whether the drug dichloroacetate helps relieve pain. If successful, it would be the first non-hormonal, non-surgical treatment for endometriosis, which affects roughly 1 in 10 women of reproductive age.
Is another drug that is very interesting in the treatment of cancerous diseases.
In the latest trial, when treated with dichloroacetate in the lab and in mouse experiments, lactate production decreased to normal levels and the size of the endometriosis lesions was reduced. The drug is already licensed as a medicine to treat rare childhood metabolic disorders and various cancers, meaning that it has an established safety profile. The new clinic trial will start recruiting this autumn. Half of the women will receive dichloroacetate and half will be given a placebo, and they will take the tablets for 12 weeks.
A lip-reading app is being trialed in UK public hospitals amongst patients who have difficulty speaking. Whether it's because of throat cancer, throat surgery, or a stroke, the app dubbed Shravi, short for Speech Recognition for the Voice Impaired, was created by a Northern Irish company. It uses artificial intelligence, also known as AI, to decipher the lip movement of patients and help them communicate better with healthcare workers and their families.
I'm in pain. You're in pain. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'll go and see if we've got any pain.
The Belfast-based company behind the app, Leopa, says it can understand more than 40 common phrases, such as "I need the bathroom" or "call my family," and the software keeps learning to improve its performance. Patients simply need to mouth a phrase in front of a smartphone camera, and the app will interpret it and say it out loud for them. Research nurse for the trauma and acute care team at Royal Preston Hospital, Linda Phillips, said Sravi has been a real godsend.
Do today learn. Today is Tuesday.
Commercial.
Traveler 是旅行者。
I have to wait for click.
So he or she is at the Columbia Towers Hotel gift store. 所以他在这个饭店的礼品店，然后他要买东西。Okay, so let's take this chance and listen to the.
学习让生活充满乐趣。FUNDAY 英语。
Thousands of people have come from near and far on a Sunday to an area some 30 kilometers outside of Ouagadougou to see a young woman. 20-year-old Amsetu Nikiema, also known as Adja, is famous across Burkina Faso for what people believe are her healing powers. She said, "There was a 3-year-old who couldn't walk, and I swore on my life that I would treat him for 12 days and he would walk. When I gave medicine, the child there got up on the 11th day and started walking."
Burkina Faso is a predominantly Muslim country, and Adja uses religious prayers, traditional medicine, and spell-clearing ceremonies to heal. Her healings are free, but she welcomes offerings from the people who come. As a child, she was haunted by visions. Her parents thought she was crazy. She was rejected, beaten, and chained by her family, even though she told them this was not the case. But today, she thanks her torturers, saying that because of the way they treated her, she knows how to take care of people.
The UK government is running a competition to find the best solution to clear up defunct British satellites and historic debris from orbit. The winner will demonstrate its technology in late 2026 or early 2027. An Oxfordshire-based Japanese company, the Astroscale UK, has unveiled its concept to send up a sophisticated robot arm to grab hold of the dead hardware. This junk would then be sent downward to burn up in the atmosphere. The arm is to be supplied by the UK branch of the Canadian company MDA.
With thousands of satellites due to be launched in the next few years, there's a fear that without active cleanup services, some parts of the sky could soon become unusable because of collisions. There's an ever-increasing amount of garbage in orbit, everything from old rocket segments to accidentally dropped astronaut tools, and even flecks of paint. Astroscale would see a 600 to 700 kilogram spacecraft launch to orbit to chase down and grab hold of a long, obsolete satellite that is now wandering through space.
Millions of Indians are celebrating Holi, the festival of color, at home and around the world. It starts on the evening of the Purnima, full moon day, falling in the Hindu calendar month of Falguna, which falls around the middle of March in the Gregorian calendar. The festival, which marks the last full moon day of the lunar month, celebrates the beginning of spring and the victory of good over evil. It also is the festival of spring and the festival of love, one of the most significant festivals in Hinduism.
The festival is based on a Hindu legend and has a huge cultural significance in India. People see the festival as symbolizing new beginnings and as a time to mend relationships and start afresh. Huge processions are held in several parts of India to mark the festival. People dance and sing and hold sumptuous feasts with traditional fare. Schools are shut as children and adults devote the day to colorful celebrations. Devotees undertake massive processions where they dance and throw colored powder at each other.
The European drug regulators say it does not want a purpose-built red light district near its post-Brexit headquarters in Amsterdam. The European Medicine Agency, EMA, says it fears nuance, drug dealings, drunkenness, and disorderly behavior. Amsterdam Mayor Femke Halsema wants to build a multi-story erotic center to replace its central red light area, but she faces strong local opposition to the new center, where legalized prostitution would take place.
In 2021, Amsterdam officials agreed plans to move the city's infamous red light district amid rising crime and overcrowding in the area's narrow lanes and canal-side paths. They commissioned architects to design a building containing rooms for sex services, as well as bars and entertainment centers. Mrs. Halsema said she wanted to improve the situation of sex workers and reduce the influence of organized crime. Last month, Amsterdam announced rules making it illegal to smoke cannabis on the street in Amsterdam's red light district, as well as limiting bar and restaurant opening hours.
FUNDAY News will help sharpen your English skills while keeping you informed on current international events. Tune into our other FUNDAY program to learn more about the world's most important topics in English. Click the link below now to join FUNDAY for free. I'm Wade Lee, your host. I'll see you next time.